Hello everyone, this is my lecture number 16. Today's topic on subject network theory. Today's topic is Laplace transform in circuit analysis. Now in last few lectures I discussed about RL and RC circuit, DC transient response, source free and step response of RL and RC circuit. Then RLC series and parallel for RLC series and parallel circuit. What is that DC transient analysis, source free circuit, that is natural response and step response. Now we have to look into the another domain, that is Laplace transform. What is it? This basically transform the circuit time domain to frequency domain, and we can analyze that, and again we can convert into time domain. So Laplace transform is named in honor of great French mathematician Pierre Simon de Laplace. Like all transform, the Laplace transform changes one signal into another according to some fixed set of rules or equations. Now, the best way to convert differential equations into algebraic equation is the use of Laplace transformation. That means the differential equation or integral equation that is there for inductor and capacitor, that can be converted easily into algebraic equation by Laplace transformation. That is why this Laplace transformation is used in circuit theory or network analysis. Laplace transform formula. Laplace transform is the integral transform of the given derivative function with real variable t to convert into complex function with variable s. Now, s is a complex function which is defined by sigma plus j omega. Okay, and the Laplace transform of function ft. So L of ft, that is equal to fs, that is function in s, and the formula is 0 to infinity ft e to the power minus st dt. So that is the Laplace transform definition, okay, or the equation. Now here we have to take ft, what is the given function, that is the ft. You have to multiply that with e to the power minus st dt, and you have to integrate over certain time, 0 to infinity, minus infinity to infinity. That will depend on the application what we are doing. Then the function ft is assumed to possesses the property that ft equal to 0 for t less than 0. If this is the property, then the limit is 0 to infinity, because t less than 0 it is 0, so there is no problem. So when Laplace transform is unilateral, when it is varies from 0 to infinity, and it is bilateral when it is varies from minus infinity to infinity. That means it will go from minus infinity to 0, again 0 to infinity. So it is bilateral with respect to the origin or 0. Now for a function ft to possesses a Laplace transform, it must satisfy the condition, that is 0 to infinity e to the power minus alpha t ft dt less than infinity. Now for some real value of sigma, because of the convergence factor e to the power minus sigma t, a number of important functions have Laplace transform, even though Fourier transform of these functions do not exist, because e to the power minus alpha t is it forced it to reduce the value of the function, and it becomes less than infinity. Okay. Now the Laplace transform has a unique property, that is for a given ft there is a unique fs, and in other words two different functions f1t and ft2 cannot have the same fs. So using equation 1, that is this equation 0 to infinity ft e to the minus st dt, okay, we have to find out the table of transform pairs. You can find out, that means we have to solve some function and see what is the result. Now for that, first let us take the example of unit step function. Unit step function is what? That is ut equal to 0 for t less than 0. So t less than 0, this value is 0, and 1 t greater than 0. So it is 1 t greater than equal to 0. Okay. So this is called unit step function. Now if you want to, so the physical analogy of this function is nothing but when switch close at t equal to 0, then connecting a voltage source of 1 volt or current source of 1 ampere current to a given circuit. Okay, so if you multiply with 8t, 8 ut, that means that will be 8 volt, 7 volt. So you can find anything. That means at t equal to 0, it voltage or current source is connected to the circuit. T less than 0, before switching operation, it is not connected. Value is 0. Now if you want to solve that, that is Fs equal to 0 to infinity ft e to the power minus st dt. Ft is nothing but ut. Now, ut is 1 from 0 to infinity. So 1 e to the power minus st dt. Now if you integrate that, what you will get? Minus 1 by s e to the power minus st, infinity to 0. Now when you put infinity here at t, value of t, e to the power minus infinity is nothing but that is 0. Okay. And then minus of 1 by s, when t equal to 0, it was 0 is 1, so it becomes 1 by s, okay, plus 1 by s. So Laplace transform ut is nothing but 1 by s. And there is another point that you have to remember, that inverse Laplace transform, that is the function in time domain is convert to s domain or in frequency domain, where s is a complex number, is sigma plus j omega. Now we can convert this time domain, frequency domain to time domain again using inverse Laplace transform. Now that we can perform looking at the function. So if it is in form of 1 by s, then inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s nothing but ut. Okay, or say a constant 1, we can say that. Now the time shifted unit step function, that means if t minus u of t minus a, that means t, if you think t minus a equal to 0, then t equal to a, it started from a. That means u of t minus a equal to 1, t greater than a, and 0, t less than a. Okay. Now if we want to find out the Laplace transform of that, what integration 0 to infinity u of t minus a to minus st dt, and this value is 1. So what you will have, it will be minus st, that here integration goes from a to infinity. In previous case it was 0 to infinity. Previous case it is 0 to infinity, now it is a to infinity. So here we have a, okay. So infinity part becomes 0. So we will have e to the power minus as by s, okay, for sigma greater than 0. Now another function, let us take another function, say ut minus u of t minus t. Now ut is, this is the function ut from 0 to infinity. Now u of minus t means it is to start from t, right? So t minus capital T equal to 0. So small t equal to capital T. So it has to start from t, and we have minus. So it has minus value. Now if we do the subtraction, what we will have? We will have only value from 0 to t, that is 1. Okay. And this is 1, this is 1. So it will cancel out 1 minus 1, 0. So it becomes 0. So it is a gated function, or it is a gate function from 0 to t. Now if you integrate that over 0 to infinity, ut of minus u of minus t e to the power minus st dt, what you will get? Ut of e to the power minus st dt, that is nothing but 1 by s, and u of t minus t, so that is the this part, that will be e to the power minus ts, because it started from t instead of previous case that was started from a. So what you will get? 1 minus e to the minus ts by s. Okay. Now say Laplace transform of impulse function, that is delta t. Okay. Now delta t, that will be equal to what? Nothing but 1. Why 1? Because delta t is 1 for only for value t equal to 0. So you have to put t equal to 0 here. That means it becomes only 1. Okay. To prove that, let us take a shifted impulse function, that is delta of t minus t0. That means t minus t0 equal to 0, so t equal to t0. So at t0 you have value delta function. So if you want to find out the impulse function, Laplace transform of impulse function or shifted impulse function, that is 0 to infinity delta t minus t0 it will be minus st dt. Now using the property of delta function, what we know that it will be 1 at only at t equal to 0, otherwise it is 0. So Laplace transform of delta of t minus t0 will be equal to what? Nothing but e to the power minus t0 t. Okay. Now if e to the power minus t0 s t0, okay, st in place of t you have to put t0, e to the power minus t0 s. If we put t0 goes to 0, that means delta t, okay, that means this term e to the power 0, that will be equal to 1. So Laplace transform delta t equal to 1. So inverse Laplace of 1 will be delta t. Okay. Now let us take another function, that is say ft equal to t. Okay. Now for that 0 to t into e to the minus st dt. Now we can integrate this function by parts. Say consider u equal to t and dv equal to e to the minus st dt. Then integration by parts, we know that integration of u dv equal to uv minus integration of v du. So what we can see here, du dt, du equal to dt and v equal to nothing but 1 minus 1 by s e to the minus st. Okay. Now we have to put this value u dv and du and dv value in this particular equation, then we get f is equal to now here u is nothing but t, so t and v is nothing but 1 minus, so t minus t by s equal to minus st 0 to infinity. Okay, and here 0 to infinity v du, so we have this term. Okay. Now if you solve this, what you will get, that will be 1 by s square. Okay, so infinity is nothing but it will be gives us 0, and here t is there, so t that will be 0 again. Now here if you integrate that, you will get 1 by s square by putting the value of infinity and 0. So t of if t equal to t, the function is the Laplace transform of that is 1 by s square. Now similarly we can find out the Laplace transform of cosine function. So cosine of omega t to the power minus st dt. Now that we can write down the Euler identity e to the power j omega t plus e to the power minus j omega t by 2 e to the power minus st. Then if you integrate that, you will give the result as s divided by s square plus omega square. In cosine omega t, okay, what we have s divided by s square plus omega square. Okay, and for sine omega t, if we sine omega t means if you can decompose the sine term using Euler identity, what you will get, it will be power j omega t minus e to the minus j omega t divided by 2j. So I am taking 2j outside. Now if you solve it, you will get omega divided by s square plus omega square. So here the difference you can see, in case of cosine term we have s here, and in case of sine term we have omega here, which is also in denominator. Okay, here it is square. Now you can find out the Laplace transform of exponential term. So e to the power minus at is the function. Then we can integrate that e to the power minus s plus at, and if you integrate that, you will get 1 by s plus a. Now when here it will be minus at, you will get s plus a. Now if you find out the Laplace transform of e to the power at, you will have here s minus a. We can solve and you can find out. Now say time shifting theorems, that is say f t of t minus t0 u of t minus t0 both are time shifted, then it will be e to the power minus t0 s of fs. Okay, so this is the part. Now another part is, suppose e to the power minus at into ft, then function Laplace transform that will be f of s plus a. Okay, so it will be minus 80. So here it will, s term you have to shift it by plus a. Say for example, e to the power minus 80 sin omega t. For sin omega t, what is that value? Omega by s square plus omega square. Now it has a function multiplied by e to the power minus 80. So s terms become s plus a. S plus a. Now for e to the power minus 80 cos cosine of omega t, only for cosine of omega t it is s divided by s square plus omega square, as we have seen in this example. S divided by, if it is multiplied by e to the power minus 80, s should be shifted by s plus a, and here s plus a whole square. So we have here s plus a whole square plus omega square. Okay, so we have to remember this form and the function, then then inverse Laplace transform will be very easier to do. Now another thing is that property, that is, if a function is multiplied by t, then the result will be minus d of ds of fs, dfs of ds. That means if t into 1, that is the case, that will be minus d of ds. Fs is nothing but the Laplace transform of this ft. Okay, so 1 Laplace transform is nothing but 1 by s, so d of ds minus, so you will get 1 by s square. Now for t into t, now t is nothing but 1 by s square. Okay, then we have to again differentiate with respect to s, we will get 2 by s cube. In general, this is the formula, m factorial divided by s of m plus 1 if it is t to the power m. So this is the common Laplace transform lookup table. Delta t Laplace transform 1, 1 or ut, that is 1 by s, t 1 by s square, t to the power m, m factorial s divided by s to the power m plus 1 e to the power minus 80, 1 by s plus a, t to the power minus 80, that means 1 by s plus 7 whole square. How? Minus d ds of fs. Okay, sin omega t, omega by s square plus omega square, cosine omega t, s by s square plus omega square, then e to the power minus 80 sin omega t. So like that we can go. Now we have differentiation property also, integration property also. Let us find out that. Now initial value, that means it can be determined, the initial value of time domain signal of or a function from its Laplace transform can be determined as g0 is limit s tends to infinity s into gs. That means if function is given a g of t, find out the gs Laplace transform, multiply it by s and put s equal to infinity, you will get g0 value. This is initial value. A final value, to get it, what you have to do, you have to multiply by the s into gs, put s equal to 0, that will be the final value g of infinity. Now let us take the Laplace transform of derivative, that is Laplace transform of dft dt. So if we integrate 0 to infinity dft dt 2 minus st dt, now we can apply integration by parts. Okay, so u is e to the power minus st, then du is minus s e to minus st dt, and v is dv is dft by dt, dft by dt into dt, and v, then if you integrate that, v is nothing but ft. Now if we put those values in that particular equation, what you will get is this one. Now here what we can see, that e to the power minus st f of infinity. Now here minus infinity, so it will be 0. Okay, and here it is 0, so f0 minus, that is also considered as 0. Okay. So what we will get here, now here we can see this is minus minus plus s ft e to the minus st dt. Now this is what? This is nothing but fs. Ft is the function, and integration 0 to infinity ft to the minus st dt, this is nothing but fs. So what we will get s fs, and this is equal to e to the power minus 0 is 1, e to the power minus infinity is 0, 1 into f0 minus, that means the integration, I mean Laplace transform of dft dt is nothing but s into fs minus f0. This is your initial value. Now Fs is what? Laplace transform of this ft function, and differentiation in convert into s into Fs, that is differentiation convert into multiplication by s. Similarly, you can find out the second derivative also. I am not going into that. Now integral, that means minus to t, say ft dt, okay, integration of that. So integration part into e to the minus st dt. Then again we have to assign u du dvv. Then if you solve it, okay, then what you will get? This function. Now this is equal to, what you will get here, 1 by s into 0 to infinity ft to the minus st dt. So that is equal to fs by s. Now plus we have 1 by s integration of that particular function, which is nothing but f of 0 plus or 0 minus, you can say. Okay, that is the initial value. So practically what we are getting, integration convert into the function divided by s. So differentiation in the time domain corresponds to multiplication by s in the Laplace domain. Integration in the time domain corresponds to division by s in Laplace domain. Okay, so that is the main point. So now, sorry, now what we can see, that we can apply KCL for any circuit. What will happen? Okay, so we can apply Laplace transform for KCL, KVL, okay, and for circuit response, say for resistor, what happened? VR equal to IR into R. Okay, so VR S equal to IR R into IR of S. That we can write directly, and IRS equal to G into VRS in terms of conductance. Now for inductor, what happens? That is GL equal to L di dt. This DIL dt, that we can convert into S into Fs plus initial value. So what we can write? GLS equal to L is common factor, S into ILS minus IL0 minus, right? That means L will multiply here. So SL ILS minus L IL0 minus. Okay. That means what? The differential equation here converted into algebraic equation. Okay. Now we can, how we can write it here? See here, VLS minus, now here if you denote this part, now what we can see, V equal to I into Z impedance. Now in time domain, in frequency domain, the impedance of or reactance value of inductor is S into L. Okay, S into L. So inductance value is nothing but S into L. So you have to multiply it by S. So now GLS, voltage rising, minus, if you take it left hand side, minus, so there is a voltage drop. Then if you take this one to right and left hand side, plus, so minus and plus, it will increase. Now you can find this equation. So here the polarity you have to take care, minus plus. Okay, L IL0 minus is the initial value. Now similarly we can write that in terms of current. Now current is ILT equal to initial current plus the current through inductor, which is 1 by L integration of that VL dt. That also you can convert into Laplace transform. Is equal to, this is your, for integration, what will be the value? VL of S divided by S. So VL of S by Sn plus IL0 minus by S. Okay. Now in that case you can write the equivalent circuit. So from this equation, this is the equivalent circuit. From this equation, this is the equivalent circuit. Now here what happens? I equal to VL of S divided by SL. SL is the reactance value of inductor in Laplace domain or frequency domain. And this is the summation of two current. So here direction is downward, here direction also downward. So in complex frequency or S domain, inductor becomes S of S. That you have to remember. Now for capacitor also, I equal to C dV dt. So we can get the expression as ICS into SGS VCS minus VC0 multiply both by C. So if you write it here, then voltage, that is IC, so that is the current part. Okay, so IC SCVC by S. That means what we can write here, VCS divided by 1 by SC. So 1 by SC is the inductor capacitor reactance. Okay, and here current is subtracting, so here direction of this current, initial current, is opposite, C VC0 minus. And for the voltage is initial value plus 1 by C integration of the IDT. Now if you find out the expression in Laplace domain, that is VCS equal to 1 by SC ICS VC0 minus by S. Now this is constant, so constant equal to nothing but 1 by S, constant by S. Now here you can see VCS increased, then minus of VC0 by S, so and minus of 1 by SC into ISC, that is nothing but the voltage V equal to I to Z, where Z is 1 by SC. So this is increasing, then drop, again drop. If you take these two left hand side, both are negative. So here the direct current, here this is plus minus, and for capacitor inductor this is minus plus. Okay, so that you have to remember. Inductor minus plus, here this is plus minus, that we are getting from the expression itself. And for current, in terms of current, this is downward and this is upward. So in complex frequency or S domain, inductor becomes 1 by SC. Now we can, if you remember that XL equals to nothing but omega j omega L. Okay. So in case of j omega, say we are using the S, that is SL. So XL equal to j omega L or SL, same thing. And XC equal to what we know, that is 1 by omega C, 1 by j omega C. Okay. Then j omega is S, so 1 by SC. So we are getting the same thing. Okay. Now let us analyze circuit. Now this is a circuit diagram. Now we have voltage source, switch, inductor. Okay. Now what happened? First we have to get the equivalent circuit, or we have to convert the time domain circuit into its equivalent um, lap frequency domain. Now this is constant. So if you take the Laplace transform of that, 36 divided by S. Now 8.4 is the value. So in Laplace domain that should be S into L. So 8.4 S. We are 10, so 10 S. Resistance value remain the same. Now we can apply KVL. So in Laplace transform also we can apply KVL, voltage divider rule, current divider rule, all the things that we have studied, everything that you can apply here. So now your voltage is, this is the first point is negative, so negative of that, then 42 plus 84s into I1 minus 42 into I2 equal to 0. We got this one. Now from second part, that is 40 40 80 90 plus 10s into I2 minus 42 I1 equal to 0. So we are getting I1, we can get I1 in terms of I2 here. We can put this I1 in this equation. Okay, and if you solve, we will get what is the value of I1. Okay, we can get the value of I2 in terms of S and in terms I1 in terms of S. Now what we are doing, we are converting this time domain signal into its equivalent S domain circuit. From that we are applying just algebra, and we are getting I2 value and I1 value. Okay. Now what happened? What we have to do? We have to do the inverse Laplace transform to get to convert that back to time domain signal. Okay. So for that we need inverse Laplace transform. Now let me just keep this result here, and after telling about the inverse Laplace transform, we will solve this I2 and I1s. Okay. We get back the time domain response. The finding inverse Laplace transform is little bit complicated. This is a basically contour integral in the complex plane, 1 by j 2 pi c minus j alpha c plus j alpha that is the integration limit fs e to the power st ds for t greater than 0, where the complex plane, where the complex number c must be chosen such that the path of the integration is in the convergence area along a line parallel to the imaginary axis at distance c from it, where c must be larger than the real parts of all singular values of fs. This is a complicated way, but there is a better way. That means what, we can find out inverse Laplace transform using partial fraction method, expansion method. That means what, we can write now every S domain quantity VSIS that we can find out VSIS, or in terms of ZS impedance function, or impedance, say admittance function YS equal to what. So whatever the function we have find out will be in the form of QS by PS. Now see here, we have solved for I2S. I2S is a function like in terms of S. Here S, here also S. You can see, right? So it is nothing but QS by PS form, where QS is the numerator polynomial in S, has real coefficient. PS also denominator polynomial in S and also has real coefficient. Now order of QS and PS can be different. Then what we can find out that since PS has real coefficient, it and QS also, it can also, it cannot always be factored. Okay, so what you will get when the factors can be in the following form. The factors can be real and distinct, real and repeated, complex conjugates and distinct, complex conjugate and repeated. Okay. So PS can be factorized into two smaller polynomials like P1 and P2s. QS also same thing, Q1 into Q2s. So what we can write, QS by PS equal to, say, QS by P1s into P2s. Okay. So we can write it again, Q1s by P1s plus Q2s by P2s. Then we have to find the solution. Okay. For that, let us take example. I am not going into theory. With example, you can understand it better. So by now say ys equal to this term. Okay. So what we can write here, the partial fraction expansion of this is ys is this term equal to what we have here, s minus 4. So a divided by s minus 4, and another term is s square plus 2. So it has two variables. So we must have bs plus c divided by s square plus 4. Okay. So we have three constant a, b, c that we have to find out. Okay. Now what we can do is, now this one equal to this part. So what we can write, a into s square plus 4 by the addition process. Okay, s minus 4 s square plus 4 plus, then we can multiply this factor by s minus 4. Okay, then if you solve here algebraically, you can find out that what we can do is, in terms of s square, what is the coefficient, s what is the coefficient, and constant term that we can derive. If we derive that, then what we can write, now here this will be equal to this part. Now this numerator will be cancelled out. So 3s square minus 28 equal to this part. Okay. Now here we can equate the coefficient of the s square, s term and constant term. That means s square coefficient a plus b, and here it is 3. So what we can write is a plus b equal to 3, and here s coefficient is 0, and here s coefficient is c minus 4b. So c minus 4b equal to 0. So what we are doing, we are taking common denominator leads to the equation. Okay. Now here 4a minus 4c equals to nothing but minus 28. So we are finding out the equation such a form that s square has some coefficient, s has the coefficient and constant term, that will you have to equate with from the left hand side what is the coefficient value of s square, s and constant term. Then we can solve it to get value of ABC. Now we got value of ABC, so we can write that A is 1, 1 by s minus 1, 2s plus 8 divided by s square plus 4. Now what we can do is, now we have to find out Laplace transform of this particular function. So Laplace transform of 1 by s minus 4, what is the function? If you remember that e to the power at is nothing but 1 divided by s minus a. Okay, so that will be e to the power 80, where a is nothing but 4, so it will be 40. Now here we can divide this by two factors, that is 2 into 2s divided by s square plus 4 and 8 divided by s square plus 4. Now I am taking 2 outside. So now what is that value? If you remember that cosine of omega t of Laplace transform is nothing but s divided by s square plus omega square, right? So what we can write here, s divided by s square plus 2 square. So that will be what, nothing but cosine of 2t. Here 2 is the omega and multiplied by 2. Okay. Now now you can see that is 1 by x square plus 4. So 1 by x square plus 4 means it is sine term, but here that should value should be 2, because here it is omega divided by s square plus omega square. So this should be 2, so you have to divide by 2 here, multiply by 2 here, right? So that will be 4 sine 2t. Okay. So similarly we can find out this kind of result also, that we have a quadratic equation here, but we can factorize that, that becomes s minus 3 s minus 4. Okay, then we will get this one. Then we will have, we can partial fraction expansion, that is this factor equal to a by s minus 2, b by s minus 3, c by s minus 4. Then with just by addition we have this part, and we get this result. Okay, and this part, this denominator part will cancel out, so this part equal to this result. Now you can put the value of, now we can find out what is the square term, s coefficient term and constant term also. Without doing that also we can do, that is, if we put say s equal to 2, then if you put here s equal to 2, s equal to 2, these two cancel out, and only a, with respect to a we can find out the value of a. Now if we put s equal to 3, then this part becomes 0, this part becomes 0, so we can find out value of b by putting s equal to 3. Similarly, if we put s equal to 4, then b will be 0, a will be 0, so you can find the value of c. So this is another way to find out. Okay, then we can get the value of this. Now we know that is 1 by s minus t is nothing but e to the power 2t, e to the power 3t, e to the power 4t. So you will get this result. Okay. Now suppose if you have a repeated factors in the denominator, then what will happen? Suppose s plus c a whole to the power n, or quadratic term whole to the power n. Now in that case how we have to write is that we have to, suppose y is equal to 2 square by s minus 6 whole cube, then you have to write this in partial fraction expansion, a by cube term plus b by square term plus c by single term. So all the factors you have to write. Now I have written this. Now we have to just multiply. We have to do addition part. That is x minus 6 whole cube is here, and a will be a. Then b you have to multiply it by s minus 6 because it is square here, and for c you have to multiply it by s minus 6 whole square. Now what we can have is that 2x square. This denominator will be cancelled out, equal to in terms of a b c. Okay. Now what we can do? Now you can find out that what is the coefficient of a square term, what is the coefficient of s, and what is the constant term. Then we have to equate that with the left hand side, and we can solve, we will get the result. Now to get the result, what we will have? We will have something like this, that is 73 divided by 6 s minus 6 whole cube. 2 minus s minus 6, that is okay, that will be 2 e to the power 60. Now what about square and cube? If you remember, square and cube, that will come when it is multiplied with t, right? So but this is multiplied by t. So now see here, Laplace transform of this. What is the value? E to the power 60 is there for this s minus term, and this is cube. Cube will come when it is multiplied by t square, because integration it will add up by 2. Whatever this value here, you have to take the 2 factorial. Okay. If it is square, then it will be t, and here it will be 1 only. Okay, 1 factorial. So similarly you have to do that. Now see here, that is x square plus 9. So x square plus 3 square we can write, but that is here 1. We have to make it omega 3. So here we have to multiply it by 3 and divide it by 3. So you will get the result. Now let us take the example that I1 is that we got from previous problem. In that case, we can use partial fraction method. We have three terms, k1 by s, k2 by s plus 2, k3 by s plus 3. Then we can find out value of k1. Okay, this is the function where we have to put s equal to 0. By putting x equal to 0, you can find out s equal to 2, 12. You can find out that s equal to 2, s equal to minus 2, and then s equal to minus 12. You can find out k1, k2, k3. So from that you can find out the value, and then you can convert it. That now see here, 15 by s, 1 by s equal to 1. So 15. The minus 14 e to the minus 2t minus 1 e to the minus 12t into ut. Okay. So this 15 ut is nothing but the forced response, and this e to the minus t term is the natural response. Now similarly I2s also you can solve and you can find out. Now let us take another example. So first the circuit you have to convert into Laplace domain. Ut is become 1 by s. Okay. R is same. 1 become s, and this is 1 by sc. So 1 by s point 0.5. 1 by 0.5 equal to 2. So 2 by s. Okay. Now so you have to find VCT. Okay. So what you have to do is, now in this particular circuit, this circuit we can convert into current source and resistance. We can convert that into voltage source by source transformation. Then what is the value of voltage? 3 by S. Okay, 3 into this 3 by S, and in series with 3 ohm resistor. Now we can apply KVL across the loop. Then what we can write? S plus 2 by S plus 3 into IS plus 3 by S equal to 0. That is the KVL. Applying KVL across the loop, I current is flowing, so I into this, I into this, I into this. Simple algebraic equations. Now I is equal to what? That we got in terms of S. So Vs will be equal to what? Nothing but Is into 2 into S, 2 by S, that is the capacitance value or reactance of the capacitor. So 2 by S into Is, so we we got this value. Now we have to solve it. That means what? We can find out the, we have to convert into time domain using inverse Laplace transform. Now for that, what we have to do, VCS, whatever the equation. Now we are doing this, is factorizing this equation. We got this. Then partial fraction expansion. So we can write in terms of 3 k1, k2, k3. We have to find out the value of k1, k2, k3 by using any type of method you can do. Okay. Then we get the response. So minus 3 plus 6 e to the power t minus t minus 3 e to the power minus 2t. Okay. So that will be the VC. We can find out the value of IT also by using the inverse Laplace transform. Now let us take another example. Say you have to find out Thevenin and Norton equivalent circuit. So that is again from this time domain to frequency domain. Ut will become 1 by s, 3.5, so that will become 2 by s, 1 Henry, so s. Now you have to find out ZTH. So current source is open circuited, and your inductor is the load. Say inductor is the load, so load is removed. So what we can see, that these two is in series because no current will flow through this path. That is ZTH equal to 3 plus 2 by s. Okay. Now VTH equal to what? by removing the load, VTH is here, that is equal to nothing but voltage drop across this 3 ohm resistor. This is parallel with that because there is no current flow here, so that is 3 into 1 by S or 3 by S. Then we can got the IN or short circuit current, that you can find out VTH by ZTH. So you got the value. Okay. Now similarly another problem, say find V0 T for T greater than 0. Okay, so from this circuit you have to find out the S domain circuit. This is UT, so 1 by S. Resistance, this is 1 by 3, so 1 by S into 1 by 3, that means 3 by S. Okay, so we can find out the for mesh 1 mesh analysis we can apply. So 1 by S, voltage rise, then 2 drop, so 1 plus 3 by S I1 minus 3 by S into I2. For mesh 2 there is no voltage source, so 0, and here what we can write, S plus 3S plus 5 into I2 and minus 3 by S into I1. Okay. So we can get equation of I1 equal to what? Okay. Substitute I1 in mesh 1, we can get I2 equal to what? Now V0 is nothing but I2 into S, which is the inductance value. So V2 is S into I2. So we got this expression after algebraic calculation. Now in this expression, this is factorized in the form of S plus 4 whole square plus root 2 whole square. Okay. That means what? This can be written in terms of e to the power minus 80 sine of omega t. Now omega is root 2, so you have to put it here root 2 again. Okay, this part omega square, omega should be here. Now this term is not there, so we have to divide by root 2 here and 3. So it will become 3 by root 2 e to the power minus 40 sine root of 2t. That means that all the table of Laplace transform that you have to remember, so that we can do the inverse Laplace transform very easily. Okay, so what are the points that you have to remember? That is, you have to remember the VR is what? VR equal to always R into IR, VLS. Voltage across inductor is SL ILS minus LI. IL0 minus initial value SL ILS. VCS equal to nothing but 1 by SCS into ICS plus 1 by SC VC0 minus. So that part you have to remember. Okay, according to voltage, even according to current, you have to remember. Okay, so this video becomes a little bit longer. So anyway, so, so I will take another class to discuss some points, and then I will I will introduce this pole zero concept using Laplace transform, how we can get pole and zero, how and what we can find out. Okay, so anyway, for that I will make another video on that particular topic. So today this is that, I mean, so just let me just tell you another point, that is, suppose we with initial condition, what will happen? Suppose we have a capacitor, to convert that into, you have 10 e to the power minus t ut. Okay, so e to the power minus t, Laplace transform of that is 1 by s plus 1 into 10. So this is the Laplace transform of this voltage source. Now capacitor point 1, so 1 by s into point 1, that means 10 by s. Okay, now this capacitor has initial value 5 volt. Now for initial case, if it has initial value, then the capacitor we can write in this format, that there is 1 by SC, IS is flowing, VS, and current is flowing upward. Okay, because it has minus sign here, so here is minus sign here. Okay, minus is V0. Now here the value, what is the value of current source? That is 2 delta 1, so it is 2 ampere. Now C V0, C value is 0.1 into 5, that becomes 0.5, so 0.5 ampere. So that we are going to include if there is the initial value. if it is current source, you use this one. The voltage, then you have to use this one. So this part, these two cases you have to remember. Okay. Then we have to solve by simple method. Apply a KCL at this node. What you will get, this is say your V0. V0 minus this term by 10, V0 by 10, then V0 by 10 by S equal to two currents entering, that is 2 plus 0.5, 2.5. Okay. Then you can find out what is the expression for V0 from that. Okay. Then you can solve it, and you can solve it and get the value of in time domain. Okay, by doing inverse Laplace transform. So this is the point that you have to remember. If there is a initial value given, and according to circuit you have to use either voltage related formula or current related formula, depend on the circuit. Here it is parallel circuit, so I am using the current because we have current source here, and that will come in parallel with that, so it will be easier. Okay, so try to practice some problems. So thank you so much.